Alright, this is the third video on the framing on my scow. So I got the stern transom cut to size. I got the chine logs on. I got one piece put in here this week. 1x4. I have not got this chine log faired. This is on the port side. I don't have the chine log faired yet. I got the bow transom cut to size. I built these bow transoms about 3 inches big because I didn't know how. I couldn't hardly tell how that needed to work out until I was able to put some stringers on, some side stringers, and see. I wanted a nice curve, coming from the front of the boat around here. So we're working on that. This side I don't have the intermediate stringer in, but I do have the chine log is faired right here with the angle of the side of the boat. For the most part, I know that it's not perfect, but filler and epoxy and filler and plywood's gonna make a big difference. I do have an issue right here though. If you can see this, it's hard to see in this video, but right here on these 3 center frames, looks like I've got a little past dead flat right here. So this is actually going down a little bit, and what I want it to have just a little bit of rocker in it, at least flat, but it's down just a hair. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna probably take something, one of these pieces of white oak or something, pallet boards. I'm gonna laminate it, maybe 2 of them, long ways. I'm gonna laminate it on top with epoxy, let it sit up and fair that with a little rocker, and then rip one 1.5 inches and put across here, and fair that up to the center here, and then on this inner keel I'll put a 1x6 on there and fair it up a little. So basically just I'm gonna add 3/8 to a 1/2 inch to that center frame. But I had went back and forth with how I was gonna plank this boat. I really like the looks of traditional planking, but this boat is probably gonna be on a trailer a lot, and carvel planking may be a problem in that case. They like to stay wet. So I thought about strip planking it, at an angle all the way down, and I could run a lot of pallet boards through a planer and get them all exactly the same size, and then glue them on here, and staple and glue them on, and then run 1x4s planks this way, longitudinal, I can't say that, but anyway, plank it traditionally on top of that and glue it in, and it wouldn't have to be caulked with cotton or oakum. But man, I tell you, that'd be really labor intensive. It'd be a lot cutting all those boards off. If I bought them, it would be expensive. You can't hardly find 1/2 inch stuff anywhere. And if I did it in 3/4, the sides would be 1.5 inches thick. So I'm kind of at a conundrum. So it may end up just being plywood. I'd really like to plank it because I enjoy doing it, but it'd take forever and a whole lot of work. And you know, how much time do we really have? Sometimes that's a question. But also, I'm going back and forth now with, I'm not sure that I won't put an outboard in a well on this boat, because I can buy a brand new outboard, a 25 horse outboard from onlineoutboards.com. I could buy a brand new outboard for about $3,500 with a remote start and an extra long shaft. Now I could put I could take this space right here between the stern transom and this first frame and put an outboard well, but that outboard would be more apt to come out of the water if you're hobby horsing out of the inlet or something. I know I've had that issue before on different sailboats. And then I thought about, this morning I was sitting here thinking that I could actually go between these two. Now I know that would put the outboard well in the middle of the bottom of the cockpit, but I could build a box over it, and this boat is so wide I could make a place to walk around that box, or I guess that's where that box in there in the cockpit, I would have room to get, I could walk right around it and still have more seating than I've got on my Catalina 22. I'll probably revisit that when I flip the boat over, how to design the cockpit. I think there's room, and it still be alright for comfort. And I've got a different idea for forward, for places to lay around and stuff like that, that I'll get into later. But the issue is, right now in the framing, before I bring this center keel to the back, I've got to make that decision. Am I going to put an outboard well in the center of the cockpit, or am I going to put an inboard diesel like the boat is designed to do with a box keel, which would be significantly more expensive? It'd be harder to work on. The outboard, of course, a 25 horse, you could yank it out and have it fixed, or fix it. You know, it'd be pretty easy, or it'd be easy to swap a new one in. It's just a lot of questions there, but I know I'm thinking outside the box. But man, I'm really leaning towards putting an outboard and putting it here. And if I put it here, or it'd be here. If I put it here, man, I'm gaining a whole bunch of depth to put the outboard in, even with an extra long shaft. I'd like to be able to put it on a jack or something, a jack plate, so that I can raise it up. You can raise it up and down with a jack plate up to 6 or 8 inches. So I could even, when I was in deep water, I could hit the jack plate and drop it even further past the keel, deeper than the keel, which would be pretty handy. And it'd have it out in clear water. And then when I wanted to, I'd hit the jack plate button and pull it back up to where the keel is completely protecting it if I'm in shallow water. So there's my issues, and there's where I'm at with it. And so just thought if anybody has any ideas, let me know. But it's kind of where I am now. When I've been putting these stringers on, anywhere where I have scarfed together boards, hey biscuit, anywhere where I've scarfed together boards, I've used epoxy, West Systems epoxy thickened with adhesive thickener. And then anywhere where I put it to the frame, I've used PL Premium. I just like, not having to mix up and having the time constraints with the epoxy. And PL Premium's pretty tough. You'll pull the board apart. It's almost as good as epoxy. And if you've got enough stringers in it, which there's going to be a lot of stringers in it, 3 on the sides, plus down here past the knuckle, there'll be 1 here and then 1 on the end. It's going to be really strong. And then on the actual bottom of the hull, there's going to be at least 2 more stringers between the keel, and then you've got that 4x4 keel running down it. So, and then the breakwater in the front. So, man, it's going to be really strong. This box shape makes for a terribly strong hull too. But I'm getting there. This has been one of the most enjoyable projects I think I've ever done. I did a camper last year. I built an overland camper, and maybe I'll do a video on it sometime. But it worked out. It worked out pretty good. And that was enjoyable, and I've used the camper. That's going to come in handy. And this boat is 25 foot. It's going to be big on a trailer and small on the water, but I think it's going to be perfect for around here. And I'm not making any huge passages. Maybe one day, you could take a skiff across to the Bahamas if you catch the weather right. So we might take it to the Bahamas one day. What a dream, huh? So anyhow, thank you for watching, and maybe if I get enough done next week, I'll make another update. So this is the 3rd one. Alright, y'all take care and be safe.